titled "One-Third Was Gone." 59 million. Picture a map of the United States. Now imagine Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, West Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. gone. The entire population of this region is now obliterated. 59 million souls are now missing. I was born after the legalization of abortion in the United States, and 1/3 of my generation is gone. 1/3. The cause? Abortion. Because of abortion, 1/3 of my peers will never experience life in the outside world, as I have. 1/3 who are going to be born into the land of opportunity were cheated of life, liberty, and happiness, and not given a single chance to prove their worth. A significant part of America's future has been annihilated. These Americans could have been our future doctors or teachers, my classmates, your spouse, our friends. Perhaps one of them could have found a cure for cancer, developed a worldwide clean water system for developing nations. The possibilities are endless, and we will never know what impact these Americans would have had on our nation and on the world. However, what we do know is that they were murdered through no fault or choice of their own. Sadly, this Holocaust has not ended. Since the legalization of abortion in the United States, over 59 million lives have been destroyed. Why? It's because we have lost sight of the value of the human person. America has become an individualistic society where everything revolves around me, my life, my career, my pleasure. Anything that interferes with my plans must be removed. The thought of sacrifice is repulsive to today's society, and the reason for this is that sacrifice requires one to give up their wants or desires for their own good or for the good of another. In a society that pushes one to pursue their interest alone, the thought of sacrificing one's time or love for someone else is simply unattractive. When it comes to abortion, we cease to see children as blessings and view them as burdens instead. We have entered what Pope Francis has called the throwaway culture, meaning that weak, vulnerable, or imperfect persons can simply be discarded if they are unwanted. The sacred lives of human beings have become disposable. When society encourages self-centeredness, one can easily fall into greed and selfishness. The fulfillment of one's desires becomes the sole priority of existence. The individuals will stop at nothing to get what they want. The responsibility that comes with a child is seen as an obstacle in furthering one's interest. Here abortion comes into play as the seemingly easy solution to remove that responsibility. Abortion is the extreme rejection of personal responsibility because one has acted as a co-creator in the life-making process and then said no to that life one has created. Mother Teresa said that any nation that teaches its people to accept abortion is not teaching its people to love, but to use violence to get what they want. This is why the greatest destroyer of love and peace is abortion. Our country once prided itself as a nation of self-sacrifice. How many soldiers fought to defend our beloved nation? How many husbands, fathers, sons, mothers, and daughters gave their very lives for the well-being of others? The political rights and freedoms of man were seen as something worth fighting for, something worth the sacrifice. Are not the lives of millions of defenseless persons worth it as well? Our country is facing the reality of having a presidential candidate who does not believe that the unborn person should be protected. During a Meet the Press interview on April 3rd, 2016, former Secretary of State and Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton said, "The unborn person doesn't have constitutional rights." When asked his opinion on Mrs. Clinton's statement, Vermont Senator and fellow Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders said, "I do agree with the Secretary. I don't believe there's any constitutional protection for the unborn." Since the passing of Roe v. Wade in 1973, the question has been raised if the unborn are protected by the Constitution. Mrs. Clinton herself acknowledges the unborn as a person. If the unborn are persons, then they would have constitutional rights. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution addresses rights, citizenship, and equal protection of the law for all persons. It states in part, "Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. All human beings, born or preborn, deserve their own individual rights and should be treated as equal members of society. The unborn person deserves equal protection. All children are worth sacrificing for. They are our future. Every life leaves its mark on society. My fellow Americans, we face a great crisis in our nation. We have reached a point where the sanctity of human life is often devalued. Abortion is unjust and unconstitutional because it endangers the life and rights of a citizen. Life is precious at all stages, and it is our duty as Americans to defend the rights of our citizens. That 1/3 is gone. They can never be replaced. However, I will not forget them, and I will not stay silent. In their memory, I will continue to fight for the rights that belong to them and belong to every human person. So join me as we strive to make our nation truly one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for this opportunity,